What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Sambawi Nibaye Jr. here. Welcome to the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. This is Sambawi Nibaye Jr. again, aka TK. My man Omar Williams, we call him O. Say what's up to the peeps.
What's going on, good people?
Awesome. It is another lovely Wednesday evening for us once again here on the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. Y'all know how we do. We normally jump right in and get things started. But before we do so, let's get our affirmation Wednesday going on right here. If you got your affirmations, you got them memorized, or whatever you got, let's get this going and let's get it popping. Give me 1 second here. I got to do this because I don't want this to go off of me because then that means you guys won't be able to see me. Boom. All right, you ready? Here we go. Today will be a good day. Today will be a great day. Today will be an awesome day. Today will be an amazing day. Today will be a phenomenal day. Today will be a stress-free day. Today will be a stress-less day. Today I will overcome all barriers that will want to block my progress. Today, all circumstances, issues, and situations are lining up in my favor. Today, all things will line up for my good. Today, I'll become better than who and what I was yesterday. Today, or should I say, I am a go-getter. I am victorious. I am triumphant. I am an overcomer. I never lose. I either win or I learn. I take authority over this day. I will dominate this day. I will conquer this day. And everything I have spoken into this day will happen as I have affirmed, because I am more than a conqueror. Let's go and get it. So before we get started, I think we got a little feedback on you. So I don't know if you need to put on your earbuds or not. I'm not sure. But while we're doing that, again, welcome to the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. We are live, 7 p.m. live here. And over the past, I would say, 3 weeks, we've been doing our Women's Entrepreneurial series. So we've had 3 amazing women on the past 3 weeks. We had Elaine Kennedy, who was the CEO and founder of My Vision is Clear, LLC. And then we had Chef Katrina, who is a marketing strategist and a top 5 in Pinterest as well. She gave some excellent tips on what to do. So if you guys want to go back and catch that podcast, whether here on my profile page or in our actual podcast, the replay of the audio, can get that. And then we had Angel Roberson last week, who is a wealth guru and inspirational speaker. We had some technical difficulties with her video and audio last week, but there are some things that you can get that would be beneficial for you from a wealth standpoint, particularly when it comes to digital currency and things of that nature. And unfortunately, I guess was not able to make it today, who we had. And so today we are going to just kind of wrap up the Women's Entrepreneurial Series and at the same time talk about why there are, not that it's a problem, but why there are so many women in the entrepreneurial space. And that's not saying that as a negative or a put down. It's just I've noticed and recognized in my entrepreneurial community, there are a plethora of women who dominate this space. Now, one thing I will say, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong or to leave a comment in our comment section, but one thing I recognize is that while there are a number of men that that lead the entrepreneurial space or communities, there are way more women in these entrepreneurial communities than there are men. I mean, I would say I'm probably lowballing it. I might say like 20-1, maybe. I mean, that's me kind of taking a guess at it for what I've seen. But it's just interesting to see how the rise of the women entrepreneur. And I know people are going to say, why are you saying the women entrepreneur? Well, there's men and there's women. So let's just give the women their just due. Can we do that? Can we give the women their just due, please? All right. As what was it, like James Brown said, let the drummer get some. All right. Let the women get some. All right. Let the women get some. So, yeah, it's just been dominated by women. And so I'm going to let O take over because O's got some information that's probably going to really blow your mind as far as the women in this entrepreneurial space, whether it's the corporate world, whether it's, like network marketing, affiliate marketing, or just entrepreneurship in general, period. Like, you own your own business and things of that nature. So, O, take it over, my friend.
So, yeah, man, I also had a community I belonged to, and the majority of them that was flourishing was women. And again, like I said, I don't know it's a cultural shift going on, man. So I have this information from score.org where it has stats about American women entrepreneurs. So it says American women started an average of 1,817 new businesses per day between 2018 and 2019. Okay.
Wow.
And that's down from the record of 1,821 businesses in 2018. So it says these businesses represent 42% of all American businesses. So women are out here getting it, almost half of the businesses.
So you said 42%.
42%, man.
That's high.
Right?
That's high.
Right? Very high. It says employing. So not only are they starting businesses, they're employing 9.4 million workers and generating revenue of $1.9 trillion.
Wow.
It up, right? They are stepping it up. And it says this report was based on the U.S. Census Bureau data, found that over the past 5 years, the number of women-owned businesses increased by 21%, while all businesses increased only 9%. So women-owned businesses increased by 21%, while all other businesses only increased by 9%. The total employment by women-owned businesses rose 8%, while for all other businesses, the increase was far lower than 1.8%. So just judging by those numbers right there, women are outpacing the business market.
Wow.
Like if you were to look at a trend, they're outpacing the trend of what businesses, new starting businesses.
Got you. So let's look at this. So let's say, you're on the trade market, stock market, and you got your trend that's going up, right? So you have your hourly, your 4-hour, your daily, all that stuff. And then, every now and then, something surprises you, like, oh, wow, that thing is really kicking. So right now, like, even though the trend is going up in general for the entrepreneurship, women are far surpassing that. And just women in general are far surpassing what the trend is right now. 21% to 9%, you said, right?
21% compared to 9%. So
compared to 9%. Okay.
I'll read it again. It says the number of women-owned businesses increased by 21%, while all other businesses increased by only 9%.
Got you. So women-owned businesses increased by 21%, while all other business owners only increased by 9%.
You got it.
So here's my question. My question is, why is that? And not that my question is how come women are doing so much better than the men are, or just in general the population? It's a matter. The real question is, why is it that women are far exceeding the trend in entrepreneurship and to a degree dominating it, rather than it being either dominated by men or a 50-50 or like a 60-40? Like, why is that? My answer to that question, and you can feel free to have your own answer too. My answer to that question is that women in today's world are far more independent than what they were in yesterday's world. Far more dependent. Now, when I say far more independent. When I say independent, I'm not saying that, we're doing our whole, Beyonce thing. Oh, my women independent. I mean, I'm not. What I'm saying is this. They're not dependent on a man to support them, as in a husband, okay? They're not dependent on a husband to support them. They're going out there and getting it for themselves, realizing I have something valuable to bring to the marketplace, whether it's owning my own business, running a business, being the CEO or president of a business, working my way up the corporate ladder, or just having a home-based business at home where I'm like, I'm a mompreneur, where I'm like, I'm at home, I'm doing my thing, but I'm also a stay-at-home mom. Like you're a stay-at-home mom who owns a business and you work from home. Or you may have a business where you actually go into an office, or you may have the laptop lifestyle where you can work anywhere you want. You can go travel to Tahiti and still be working because your laptop is your office. So it could be a number of things. But I also believe too that, women in this day and age are beginning to see that the pool is wide open. Like anybody can jump in now, male or female can jump in, and you get in where you fit in. And once you find where you fit in at, it's like, all right, this is where you fit in. Take it to however you want to go. Because let's be honest, as an entrepreneur, you have literally no limits to how much money you can make. Now, in the corporate world, there might be a bar that says, okay, you're making this amount of money. It stops here. If you are a business owner, or you're kind of, you're working in, a business platform where you're free to make as much money as you like, because either you're the only employee, and so you're doing like a self-owned business, or you're involved in other business opportunities, or you are involved in other things such as, cryptocurrency, stocks, trading, things of that nature. So you have multiple streams of income, which is 100% the thing to do, having multiple streams of income. I'm talking about on a few of our podcasts that, if not for multiple streams of income for me and my wife, like that pandemic would have really hurt. But that pandemic hurt a lot. I mean, it hurt over 40 million people. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, if you didn't have a side hustle, or you didn't have any other streams of income, I mean, that's the pool you were in. So, I'm gonna let you jump in. So.
Yeah, man, and I think there's other factors too, man. I think divorce rates have raised. Right?
That's true.
You now have women who, double income, and now you split, and it's like, okay, I got to do something, right? I gotta make moves. I think that plays a factor. I think also, so the field that I'm in with the trade in the stock market, they say women are the best traders. Mm-hmm. Men have egos.
Hey, let the truth be told.
Me, I'll be bald-headed and want to do everything on my own, while they'll take they'll follow the direction, follow the orders, follow the steps without their ego in it. And if you follow the right person, you get those same results. While a man, on the other hand, is like, he don't know everything. I got it from here. You know what I'm saying? The man is leading you, or the woman is leading you to the light, and you want to do it yourself because you got the ego. So I think there's a lot of different factors, man, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's needed. I'm not even gonna get into that.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, yeah. I would definitely say, the entrepreneur, business owner, space for ever that we've known has been dominated by men, and we all know how the order of society has been for, the man is the breadwinner. He's the one that goes to work. Wife stays home, takes care of the kids, takes care of the house. And over time, that societal way of living has flipped the script probably more than twice. You know,
For
where
sure.
there's a very high rate of women, and let's be mindful too. Women are very much more community oriented than men are. So women, when they find a community, like they go hard and they go in. It's like, and they start saying, "Hey, come over here. We got a community of women of us that are doing X, Y, Z." Or come over here with us. We got a community that's doing X, Y, Z. And so when you find those communities, women thrive off that. The thing is that that's how it's always been for women. It's like women who were stay-at-home moms or who took care of the house, didn't go out to have jobs. Like you were home, but so was every other woman on your street or in your community were home.
Right.
So women
right.
are used to community,
Right.
you know? So
Right.
when they took that, put it into the entrepreneurial space, and now it's kind of like, wait a minute, why are they thriving so much? Well, they've always thrived outside of it.
Yeah.
Now they've taken the model, put it into business, and now it's like, wait a minute, hold up, like this is a whole different ball game. And so the one thing that I've seen, I don't have the stats on it or the article, that women who are running a business or facility or things of that nature tend to have more success than a man does, because of the fact that women think outside the box a lot more often, whereas men are like, okay, look, these are the rules, these are the regulations, this is how things are supposed to go. And while that's a good thing, because there need to be rules and regulations, they don't think outside of the rules and regulations. They stay within the confines of it. And there's a number of women that are like, okay, these are rules and regulations, but what else can we do to make this do what it do better? Because as the world continues to change, some of those rules and regulations need to change too. So I see shaking his head. I'm gonna let him jump in. He got something he want to say.
Yeah, because that set up this. I got a perfect story for that, man. I had so we were calling out electricians to do work at the house. You know, you get pricing, right? So we called 3 people, 2 men and 1 woman.
Okay.
2 men come out. I said, "This is what I need. I don't want no holes in my wall." One dude comes. Where's the basement? He goes in the basement. He back up. He's like, "Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to put a hole here. I'm gonna have to put a hole here, here, and here, right?" Second dude comes out. Pretty much the same story. He looks at the house. He's looking. He's like, "All right, let me go in the basement." He looks around, comes back upstairs. He's like, I'm at to probably do a hole in the wall right here, but if I don't do patchwork. So once I put the hole in it, you got to get the hole fixed. Female comes out. I told her the same thing. I said, "Look, I do not want a hole that I got to patch up." She does the same thing. Looks at the wall, goes downstairs. She's the only one that said, "Oh, let me see what outside looks like." So she goes outside and says, "Your outlet's right in the inside of the window, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, we could drill through the back of the wall, go outside with it, and come back through." And I said, "Man, brother," I said, "I'm not hiring another brother." But I like she just thought out, like you said, she thought out of the box. These 2 brothers came in here and was like, "Yeah, no, they knew one way and they did it one way, but outside the box." And now I didn't have to get a hole fixed, and the wire is laid perfectly. You know, so I said, when she left, I said, "Yeah, you're my electrician."
So you saved yourself time, money, and headache.
I didn't have to, yeah, and the price she charged was same prices that they quoted me. So she did it a better way for the same price.
That's very interesting, because you had both men said, "I got to put a wall." One said multiple holes, right? Multiple holes.
One guy said, "I got to put a hole right here and a hole right here so I can fish the wire down," right?
Yeah. Then the other said, "I got to put a hole here, but wait, I don't do patchwork. That's somebody else you got to hire."
Yeah.
She came in and said, "Oh, let me check outside." She went outside the house, outside the box, and found a better way to get it done. And said, "Oh," and it probably took her half the time it would take them to do it, because she had another way, but a better way to get it inside without cutting any holes in your house. I like how you said they had one way to do it.
Yep.
They didn't think of any other ways to do it. Now look, let me pause for the cause. Y'all know my disclaimer. We are in no way putting down the men
At all.
for only having one way to do it.
Right.
But for the emphasis of our point being made that women are outside of the box thinkers more than men are, the men had one way to do it, and that was the only way they were going to do it. The female that came in, she went outside the house. She looked until she could find another way to get it done to meet the need so that my man O could save himself time, money, and headache.
Exactly.
So, and that's all we're saying. So, outside the box thinkers are, and this, like I said, I don't have the article or what who had said it, but I did read it, and that was a perfect example of what we were talking about. So, and the thing is, in the entrepreneurial community that I'm a part of, I mean, there's so many women that I have that I can, interview, and we're actually going to look to do this again, likely in October. I know that seems far away, but this is the first time we did a women's entrepreneurial series, and I felt it would be great to do that because there are so many women that are in the entrepreneurial space that are doing amazing things. We all know, that men are, they're business owners, they're CEOs, they're presidents, the CFO. They all have those C titles, or at least they're considered a boss, as people will say. But there are a number of women out there that are getting it. And now, not only that, I mean, there's teenagers nowadays, both male and female, that are positioning themselves. If they don't have a business already, they're positioning themselves to be successful as a business owner, out of high school, not having to necessarily go to college unless they want to or they desire to. Again, not knocking college, but, do what it is that you were sent here and placed here to do. If you know that working 9 to 5 is not your thing, then go out there and get it done. If a 9 to 5 is your thing, then that's what you do. If a 9 to 5 and a side hustle is your thing, do that. If a 9 to 5 and being a business owner or being self-employed is your thing, do that. Like, don't set limits on yourself of saying what you can and cannot do. Don't say, well, I got 9 to 5. That's all I do. It's like, there's something else you want to do. You can, first of all, find out what you need to do to go about doing that. But then also ask people, ask questions. You won't never get the answer if you don't ask a question. And one thing about entrepreneurship is that you have to continue to ask questions because you're not going to ever know it all, like ever. So you got to continue to ask questions. And the one thing I noticed is that women ask a lot of questions, whether they are an entrepreneur or not. Women ask a lot of questions. But in asking a lot of questions, women are constantly seeking answers. So I'm going to digress for a little bit. As husband and wife, when your wife asks you a question, she is seeking for an answer, not just no or yes or maybe or okay. Like, she's seeking a detailed answer to a question or it could be a detailed question. It could be a straightforward question, but she's seeking a detailed answer because she wants an answer that gives her the satisfaction of what she's seeking for. A lot of men do not ask questions. As O said, like, we have an ego, and our ego says, this is what, my mentor, Dr. Breakthrough, says. Ego stands for edging greatness out. Like, we're edging our greatness out by not asking questions. Like, you got to ask questions in order to get the answer. I tell students of mine that I mentor, I'm like, you got to ask questions. Like, not asking questions because you don't know the answer. And if you don't know the answer, especially if it comes to a test, like, when the teacher is going through and reviewing the test, it's like, if you don't know an answer or you're confused, raise your hand and ask a question. Like, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. It's not saying that you're, that you're, dumb, you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, you need to ask a question. In business, you need to ask questions. I mean, starting out, you need to ask questions. And even once you get going, even those who have scaled their businesses to great heights, they still ask questions because, listen, you've gotten your business to a certain point. and you want to keep it there or continue to grow it. You don't want to, go the opposite way and come back down. I don't think there's any business owner who wants their business to go in the opposite direction of profit. I don't believe that.
Right. Right.
Especially if you plan on taking that all the way through your lifetime and generational, lifetimes, or if you plan to sell that business, because the greater it does, the better the sell when you decide to sell it. I kind of went on a tangent there for a minute, but it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Anything else you got? Oh, this is not going to be the long version of a podcast, but anything else you got before we kind of?
Yeah, let me just finish off these. Let me just finish these last little bit for this report. It says there's been a lot of growth in the number of women who are operating side gigs or side hustles. Also, it says the Amex report calls these women sidepreneurs. Right? Never heard of that before, but they're called sidepreneurs. And it says they've grown at a rate that is nearly twice as fast as the overall growth in female entrepreneurship, 39% compared to 21%, right? And then it says much of that growth comes from minority women, where sidepreneurs is 2 times higher than all businesses, 65% compared to 32%, respectively. In fact, while the number of women-owned businesses grew 21% from 2014 to 2019, firms owned by women of color grew 43%, and African-American women-owned firms grew even faster at 50%. So it's a lot of minority women that are, even on top of just women entrepreneurs, a lot of minority women are taking advantage of it too, at a higher rate than anybody else. So advantage of it, man.
Again, we are giving kudos and props to all the women out there who are doing big things in the entrepreneurial space. We tip our hats to you for all that you are doing as a mother, as a businesswoman, as a wife, and whatever other titles you are holding out there. We are very appreciative for what you guys do. I appreciate my wife for what she does. I'm pretty sure O does the same thing with his wife. And all of us out there, because let's be honest, women are a very one of they're actually the strong pillar of a household. And of course, the father and the men are too. But we work as one, as a married couple, and so there are men out there who are stay-at-home fathers, while the wife and mother owns the job or owns the business or goes to work. And that's what works for them. And so there's no ego in that man, because he's like, look, I'm good. If I can stay home and take care of the children, take them to school, do this, that, and the other, she goes to work and does whatever, that's cool. For others, that may not work for you, and there's others where they both work. And then the woman may have the larger pick of the basket, if you will, when it comes to bringing in, the money. And so, again, big props to the women all over the world that are doing big in the entrepreneurial space. So thank you guys for joining us today. We wanted to just, top that off. And again, we'll be doing this again in the month of October. I know that's a ways down the road, but so if you want to or like to be a part of the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast, you can always contact us at FOFM podcast at frameofmindinc.com. Again, FOFM podcast at frameofmindinc.com. Or you can give us a call at 302-689-3499 if you want to be on the show. If you have any questions for us, if you want to, say how awesome we are, we'll take compliments too. We appreciate that. And so, again, this is our first time our first time this month going live with our podcast. So you guys can get used to that a little more often. And we'll continue to raise the bar here on the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And appreciate you guys. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to do a stock market podcast next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So
all right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys want to catch that, my man O has some very unorthodox things he does, but he's going to give you some tips here of what you can do with your stocks or your trading. So, of course, if you want to get the full, O package and you want to dive a little deeper into what he's talking about, then hit my man O up and get that O package. You got to pay a little something for that. But trust me, it'll be worth it if you're looking to do some unorthodox things and things that actually work too. So he's been doing this for a number of years now, and he has been very, very profitable in the stock market and the trading space, and appreciate that. So we're bringing that value to you as well here on the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. So my man O and TK, thank you for joining us, guys. We will see you guys next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Of course, for those of you who normally catch us in the morning at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays, we've now flipped the script and gone to 7 p.m. with our live broadcast on Facebook and on YouTube. So again, we'll be live on my profile page on Facebook. You can just go to at TK Billionaire. And then again, on my Frame of Mind Inc. Podcast group that we have, you can type that in. We'll be live in the group as well. And on our YouTube channel, Frame of Mind Inc. Channel on YouTube. So we'll be live in all three places at the same time, simultaneously. And we're just going to keep raising the bar and keep making things great. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. And we will see you guys next week. All right. I holla. Thank you for joining the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And as always, here at Frame of Mind Inc., think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. As our tagline says, think it, speak it, achieve it. See you next time.
It's a frame of mind. It's what you say and what you do.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.frameofmindinc.com, where you can browse our online apparel store, listen to some of our original music and production services, as well as view our videos and projects we've done for our clients and customers.